Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you're watching from. My name is Ejin Anol, and I'm a cybersecurity officer. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to answer a real cybersecurity interview question using the STAR method with a real-world example, so you can communicate clearly, build confidence, and stand out during interviews. Let's get straight into it.
Can you tell me about a time you had to communicate to both technical and non-technical stakeholders?
Thank you for that question. As a cybersecurity analyst, one of my key responsibilities is ensuring security decisions are clearly understood and supported across the business, not only by technical teams, but also by non-technical stakeholders who may be impacted operationally. During the M&S cyber attack, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, issued advisories recommending stricter endpoint application controls to reduce risk and prevent shadow IT. At the time, my organization was reviewing its exposure and aligning internal controls with that guidance. I was responsible for assessing our endpoint environment, identifying any non-sanctioned applications that introduced unnecessary risk, and implementing preventative controls, while ensuring minimal disruption to business operations and securing formal approval through the Change Advisory Board. During my assessment, I discovered that Mozilla Firefox was installed across the estate, even though it was not an approved corporate browser. I escalated the finding to my line manager, referenced the CISA advisory, and recommended its removal to reduce attack surface and improve policy compliance. Because the change required Change Advisory Board approval, I proactively took ownership of the planning and implementation. Using Sophos Central, our endpoint security tool, I created an application control policy and deployed it to a pilot group of 50 test devices. This blocked Firefox where installed, while I also created an exception policy for users who legitimately needed it. After successful pilot testing, I drafted a detailed change request and raised the change ticket via Top Desk for Change Advisory Board review. I ensured communication was tailored for both stakeholder groups. I provided clear technical justification and risk reduction detail for IT/security teams, while presenting the impact in simple business terms for non-technical stakeholders, including how users would be supported and what the rollback plan would be. By addressing concerns proactively, Change Advisory Board approved the change. As a result, Firefox was removed across the wider estate with no disruption to critical services. Shadow IT was reduced, our vulnerability management exposure score improved by 10%, and the initiative demonstrated proactive alignment with external threat intelligence and regulatory security guidance. I also created a standard operating procedure, SOP, to document the end-to-end process, enabling other cyber team members to replicate this approach for future application control improvements. This example shows how I communicate clearly across technical and non-technical audiences while delivering security improvements through structured change governance. Stay tuned for more interview tips and real-world cybersecurity insights based on my personal experience. Thanks for watching.